83 veterans of major military conflicts from Nebraska, Iowa, South Dakota, and Minnesota went on a mission of a lifetime this month. It was all part of the 15th mission of the Midwest Honor Flight. KTIV's Clayton Anderson was there with his camera to capture the long and moving mission to the nation's capital.
An early wake-up call, something that was standard for these veterans during their time in service. And they did it once again as a bus to Sioux Falls Airport embarked at 3 in the morning to give these veterans and their guardians the experience of a lifetime. Those getting ready to board the early charter flight to D.C. had no idea what to expect. The journey saw the veterans from different branches of the armed forces stop at the Iwo Jima Memorial, Arlington National Cemetery, and the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, the Air Force Memorial, Navy Memorial, World War II Memorial, and the Korean and Vietnam War Memorial. The trip left a lasting impact on veterans who took the trip from Siouxland to D.C. to remember those they knew who lost their lives in combat.
I lost a good friend in the service, and I think about him all the time, and this has kind of brought it out again.
Philip Severson, a veteran who served during the Korean War, was a part of the hydrogen bomb testing on the USS Curtis. For a while, his service time was classified, but now he is coming to grips with the harsh reality of his service, and seeing the Korean War Memorial gave him closure. He says he would have done it again, even knowing what he knows now.
My family's been in the business of war since we came here during the Civil War. We haven't missed one since.
Well,
tradition. That's why I joined before I was 18.
Serving in Vietnam for many soldiers was tough and grueling. For David McFarland, who lives in Correctionville, Iowa, he remembers his time serving for the 101st Airborne Infantry in Vietnam.
never been there. I've visited the Vietnam Wall, the traveling model, but not the real thing.
McFarland knew he was excited and looking forward to seeing the Vietnam Wall when he was getting ready to board a flight in Sioux Falls. But when he got there, an old friend he served in combat with, William Pepper, drove from New Jersey to Washington, D.C. to see his best friend from combat, even if just for an hour or so.
Unreal. Yeah. Just unreal.
I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
The meeting was a total surprise to McFarland.
I didn't even recognize him because he had a hat on and sunglasses.
We were over by the three soldiers, and I walked up and stood next to him, and I said, "Which one of those is you, old dog?" He didn't recognize me.
The military is in David McFarland's blood, and you can see that on his hat, where he has historical medals and pins from himself and his father before him. But the tradition carried on to his children, who all served. His daughter, Julia Mason, served for 22 years in the Army and was deployed in Iraq. She had previously met Bill Pepper when she was in New Jersey. She knew the honor flight was a perfect opportunity for the two to meet.
I just knew that at some point I needed to get those two reunited and connected again.
The two shared good times, sad times, and even funny times, all while sitting on a park bench. Bill even got a laugh of his buddy David cropping him out of a photo he framed. But the wall allowed them to take rubbings of the names of men they served with, who they have not forgotten.
I just took rubbings of 6 of the people that were killed when I was there. And
I did the same thing
tough.
before.
It's kind of tough, remembering how it happened.
A moment that will be cherished forever, with hope of a meetup again.
Truly a dream come true to be able to be there with my dad and help him heal and help him just experience some of the things that 1969 would have been the best time to experience that, but you know, it's never too late.
The trip would have not been made possible without the funding of $85,000 from Sioux Center 15-year-old Elsie Van Beek, the sister of the president of Midwest Honor Flight, Aaron Van Beek. Only being 15 years old, Elsie could not go on the honor flight as a crew or guardian. So her brother challenged her with what seemed like a monumental task. Raise $50,000 and you get to be the sponsor of the flight. She crushed that goal by fundraising in the way of selling homemade cupcakes. After the honor flight was over, she took a moment to reflect on the gratitude the journey brought her.
It made me feel really wow, I did this, you know, because all these veterans, people that have fought for our country and so that we could be free, are thanking me.
She plans to continue to raise money for the honor flight for her Eagle Project for Scouts.
And the flight was named in Elsie's honor as Elsie Honors Mission 15.